Welcome to ADCO Aviation. On the 41st video, we discussed replacing the non-replaceable battery in our tiny TAC. Today, I thought we'd discuss the BlackMax wheels and brakes. I bought the kit a while back, and this is what came in the kit. Well, mostly. To start off with, I'm using the supplied 2-ply tires that came with the kit. And since I haven't built the spring struts yet, I plan to run the tires with a light amount of air. And although they are super light, I will probably upgrade to the 8x6 4-ply tires before going to soft field takeoff and landings. Speaking of the 2-ply tires, it's time to get the rubber on the rims. I didn't get any pictures of this, but it was kind of interesting. I took the valve core out, wrapped a ratchet strap around the tire, kind of like this guy, added air till the bead set, and then added the core back in and removed the strap. With the valve stems on the outside, the BlackMax hubs are mounted to the inside of the rims, with 3 bolts threaded into the hub. Don't forget to use the supplied lock washers. Also, according to the instructions, they also call for serrated flange nuts that go on the backside to make sure this thing doesn't come off, I guess. Next, let's discuss the axle and caliper installation. There's a Woodruff key that goes in the 5/8 axle that holds the calipers in place and keeps it from spinning. Once the key is in place, you'll slide the caliper over the keyway slot like so. I used a scrap piece of PVC pipe to drive the caliper to the correct location. Then tighten the set screw on the bottom of the calipers to lock them in place. If you choose to have the calipers at the top, as I did, then you'll place the bleed screw, loose for now, in the top hole of the caliper and add the plugs on the other 2 holes. And finally, the compression fitting for the tubing using Teflon tape to help seal it from leaking. You can also mount the calipers horizontally as well. I just figured the brake lines would go nicely up the legs this way. The rotor disc is free floating on the 3 bolt heads, so slide it into place between the 2 brake pads and then slide the axle through the hub with the supplied large washers, both on the inside and outside, and verify the disc is setting correctly on the axle hub. Then add the locking nylock nut. The instructions say to lightly snug it up and then back it off a quarter turn or until the wheel turns freely. And finally, a cotter pin in the end of the axle for safety. Now with the calipers in their rested spot, we can adjust exactly where we want them to be once mounted on the airframe. Sliding the axle into the 3/4 by 0.62 tube we used while building the landing gear, the plans call for the axle to slide in and get pinned into place. And now we can drill the 1/8 inch hole and drive the pin into place. I also added a safety wire through the pin for safety's sake, probably not needed. Next, let's add the compression fittings to the master cylinder or lever handle and slide it down the control stick to the desired location and tighten the screw. Then we'll add the brake lines, making sure to route the lines in such a way they won't rub anything or that nothing will reach up and grab them while landing. My kit was short one of the plugs that goes into the caliper, so I had to call the vendor before going forth with the install. It's pretty straightforward though. Hopefully I'll hear from them soon. Finally, we'll add some automatic transmission fluid to the master cylinder. I plan to use a large syringe to keep from making a mess. According to the instructions, 2 pumps of the lever will almost empty the reservoir. So after 2 pumps, I'll top it off again using the syringe. carefully not to get air in the lines. To bleed the brakes, crack the bleeder valve. You can add a hose and a bottle to collect extra fluid. Pump the lever and close the bleeder valve once no more air comes out. Repeat for both sides. Sorry this is a little late. I'm trying new editing software, but as always, I hope you've enjoyed this video and hopefully found some of the info helpful for your build. And if you're on the fence about starting a Legal Eagle build, hopefully I've shown you just how easy it can be. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe to my YouTube, Odyssey, or Rumble channels. Thank you and be safe.